Yes, good afternoon to you guys. How are you doing? One second, I don't know if I'm coming through live at all. One sec. Don't know what is happening here. Don't know what is happening here. Myself now. Good afternoon to you, my Facebook peeps. How are you doing today? You know, the 2025 JAAA National Athletics Championship is now done and dusted. It took place over 4 days, June 26 to 29. I was there for every single day, and I enjoyed it immensely. There were some highs and lows, but let me talk about the highs first. Sandra Balistan, thank you for coming on the live. Yeah, let us look at the highs first. The 100-meter men promised and delivered. Kishane Thompson, 9.75, a world lead. The flash time was 9.71, and I almost held my breath because I couldn't believe when I saw the flash time. I was saying, if the time remains at 9.71, he would have surpassed Asafa, but it was adjusted to 9.75. So right now, Kishane Thompson is the 6th fastest man in history, and the 3rd fastest Jamaican behind Usain Bolt. Sorry, the 4th fastest Jamaican behind Usain Bolt, Ewan Blake, and Asafa Powell. Right? So Bolt is 9.58, Blake 9.69, Powell 9.72. Well, Thompson is now 9.75. He's just 0.01, 1/100th of a second behind Justin Gatlin of the USA. It was an extraordinary run. It's a stadium record, and that stadium record is giantly held with Ewan Blake. So it's Kishane Thompson and Ewan Blake who are the stadium record holder in the 100-meter event. And of course, we had a little bizarre occurrence with Oblique Civil. At one point, it was as though he was not going to run. I don't know what happened. If he was anxious, nervous, if that would have transferred to some tightening of the muscles, and it appeared that he was not fit for running. At one point, I thought he was going to just exit the race because he was not in this condition to run. But apparently, his muscles came out, and the rest is history. Oblique Civil ran. He ran a season best of 9.83. Very quick time. And of course, Akeem Blake was 3rd in 9.88. So Jamaica will be fully represented in the 100-meter at the Tokyo World Championship. It was also good to see young Boaji Nkume making the final and posting a 10.09. I'd hoped that he would have gone faster, because in the semi-final, Nkume would have posted 10.06. But it was good to see Nkume posting two 10.0s. Two 10.0s, semi-final and final. I think next year would be great for Nkume. I like the trajectory now. I don't want to see any more setbacks. There were some people criticizing Kishane about his mannerism, how he has this tendency after every race to just run to the tunnel and out of the stadium into the stadium field. I'm saying, we're making too much about nothing really. That's Kishane's style. It's not hurting him, it's not hurting us. He's an introvert, he has said it. He does not necessarily like to engage with the media. It will come, he's young, it will come. I have seen him engage with the media before. He's an articulate young man. He knows how to express himself. But beside that, he really doesn't like it. Right? So, don't be too hard on the youngster. You know, he pioneered that style, and I like it. You know, I like it. Now the women's 100 meter, where it was actually dubbed 4 females vying for 3 spots. In Tia Clayton, Tina Clayton, Shericka Jackson, and of course Shelley and Fraser Price, who has announced her intention to make her appearance at the National Stadium and at the World Championship, her very last. So of course there was a big recognition of Fraser Price, deservingly so. And although I have issue as to when it happened, because I think all of those celebrations and recognition and awards could have done, you know, at the end of the men's 100 meter. But it happened. Fraser Price made the final, and she actually made the top 3, posting 10.91, which at her age is phenomenal. You have to give credit where credit is due. But nonetheless, I believe that if Tia Clayton was not injured, if she was fully fit, it would have been a different situation. Because clearly, the twin would have been in the top 3, and Shericka Jackson would have been there also. But I think we are strongly represented just the same. Tina Clayton, the champion that she is, has posted 10.81, a PB for her, and she is now in the top 10 fastest Jamaican female in history. And then of course, Shericka Jackson was second with 10.88. It means she's on the rapid improvement now, considering the time that she was running earlier in the season. She's now at 10.88, and she can go faster. Shelley and Fraser Price is 10.91, which is also a great accomplishment for a 38-year-old. But I feel it for Tia Clayton because, you know, she was the promise. She was the one that all figured would have been leading the charge. And, you know, sometimes life is so unfair. You don't know why these things happen. You just do not know why it happened. But it always tends to hurt somebody that we figured should have been there, you know. But such is life. We have 3 able individuals. What makes this run very impressive also by Tina Clayton, you know, 10.1. It was done in dead condition, 0 wind. So if you put the maximum 2 on that, you know, that would be about 10.71. So right now I can tell you, Tina, if you had a 1 point something wind, she would have gone probably about 10.7, 10.79, 10.78 to 10.71. So it shows me, you know, that Tina Clayton is actually a 10.7 athlete, really, you know, with the assistance of some legitimate wind. And we don't have any buy in the women's 100 meter, as we do not also have any buy in the men's 100 meter. So we don't have 3 athletes representing us there, you know. It was sad to see Brianna Williams not making the 100 meter final. I thought she would have been in the final. She didn't make the final, and that was kind of disappointing. Natasha Morrison also did not make the final, you know, so we are kind of witnessing a change of the guard. I was particularly disappointed also to not to have seen Elaine Thompson era at this year's championship, having been out since 2023, 2024, and now 2025. So it's 3 consecutive global championships that Elaine Thompson era basically will not be at. That's kind of painful. And remember, in 2022, even although she went to that championship in 2022, you know, she placed 3rd in the World Championship here. 2023, she actually went to the World Championship. However, she only did relay duties because she placed fifth at the National Championship, which would not have given her any rights to an individual spot at the World Championship. And 2024 Olympic, she was injured last year, the Achilles tore, and then it seemed like she did a surgery. I'm told, I can't vouch, but I'm told she did a surgery and going to rehab. So she was just not available for this year's World Championship. But we have three individuals. You know, I mean, if you do the adjustment for Tina with legal wins of 2.0, you'd have to do that for Shelly-Ann and Sharika too. So their times will be much improved with wins. But we are good here. Now, for men and women, 100 meter, I believe. I remember we have some time before September. So more than likely our athletes should be better, The 200 meter men, Brian Level won that in 20.10, which means he would have achieved the qualifying mark of 20.16. Christopher Taylor was second in 20.28, a personal best. He keeps lowering his mark. He's getting better and better each run. But the 20.28 is not an automatic qualifying time by Taylor, but I suspect there are meets that he probably can participate in between now and August 24, I believe, which is the cutoff point, where he probably can lower his time, better his time, and achieve that 20.16 or better mark. It was good to also see Adrian Carr running that 20.49. He has significant work to do if he wants to lower his time to 20.16. This is not beyond Carr. He has to just keep working and find the meets and try to see if he can qualify either by lowering the time or maybe if the quota system might accommodate him. But there are so many people running fast right now. I don't know if he necessarily will make it unless he try to go after that 20.16 qualifying mark. Devon Powell, blessings my brother. Thank you for coming on the live. The 200 meter woman is a bit disappointing for me. And I'm going to tell you why. Ashanti Moore won the 200 meter final yesterday at the National Stadium in a time of 22.66. And the qualifying mark actually is 22.57 for the women's 200 meter. So none of the times for the top three yesterday achieved that 20.57. And what is kind of worrying for me is the fact that Brianna Williams, that 16-year-old, and I soon talk about Brianna Williams. Brianna Williams, that 16-year-old, ran 22.50 to establish a national junior record. And that national junior record is a faster time, significantly faster time than the winning time yesterday in the senior women's 200 meter final. Equally, Brianna Liston class 1 200 meter record of 22.53 is also significantly faster than the time posted by Ashanti Moore yesterday as a senior athlete, 22.66. I believe outside of Sharika Jackson, who has a bye at the World Championship, because everyone knows she's the defending champion, and the defending champion has a bye, a wild card. The only other two persons who would have met the qualifying mark, although that was not replicated at the National Championship, would have been Nisha Berger, I think, at 22.39, and Dejani Oakley, I believe, at 22:47. So there's still a spot open. So if Brianna Liston or anybody else can find a meet to post 22.57 or faster, we could get an additional spot and have a fourth person in the 200 meter. But I am not particularly liking what I'm seeing in the 200 meters for women and even for men. But I make a little exception with Brian Level in the men's 200 meter because over the 4 days he would have actually run 6 rounds, 3 100 meter rounds and 3 200 meter rounds. So he probably was exhausted and still was able to attain the qualifying mark, running 20.10. Now, 400 meter men, I want to stay there a bit. Rashid McDonald was the winner in 44.89, right? But the qualifying mark is actually 44.85. And with all the gimmickry that he did yesterday, I believe that robbed him of an automatic qualifying time. It appeared he was not seized of the moment to know that it's not just winning, it's also time. And it seemed like his biggest objective was to prove to everybody that he could be a national champion with little regard for the time. Otherwise, he would not have slowed down to put his finger on his lip to silence people. He would have just run through the tape and attained that standard easily too, because probably he would have run 40, 44, 81, 82, probably 44, 79. That was there for him to achieve. So he now will have to find a way to attain the qualifying star mark, or hope that the quota system accommodate him based on ranking. And the same will have to go for the other athletes who finished second and third. Sean Bailey was a bit disappointing. I mean, given his PB and his performance last year at the national trial, I thought he would have made it into the top 3. He did not. So there's some deficiency there. I believe all 3 ladies in the 400 meters would have qualified for the Tokyo Olympic by dint of the time that they posted. Certainly Nikisha Price, 49.97, and I think Stacy and Williams, and I think the other person is Oakley, should be able to attain. I think they attain the standard, so all 3 should be okay for Tokyo. Now I want to talk a little about Brianna Williams, because she false started. It was a genuine false start, to be honest, but I think the circumstance warranted, in my estimation, a green card or a yellow card for warning. Reason being, I believe the starter held them for too long, and Brianna Williams was cognizant that her only opportunity now would have been in the 200 meter. So she was there in the set position, anticipated the gun to be fired. It did not fire. She jumped out of the blocks. The rest is history. She was disqualified, and so she had to find an alternate route for a spot in the 200 meter women in Tokyo. That's it. The hurdles, starting with the women, was a blast. I enjoyed that one. 31-year-old Megan Tapper have defied the odds, and she posted 12.34, which was actually her PB. She achieved a personal best in that final, 12.34, beating Akira Nugent, who who had to second for second on that occasion, posting 12.41. And of course, Amoy Brown, who has been knocking on the door for quite some time now, has gotten her due, posting 12.67. Just edging out Kerika Hill, who also posted a personal best of 12.69. As you guys know, Kerika Hill's PB previously was 12.75. So it was a massive shaving, 12.69. So she seemed to be moving in the right direction, and I have no doubt that within another year or two, Kerika Hill will be a potent force. Globally, she'll be a potent force. And the same for Boaja and Nkrumah in the 100 meters. I think in another year or two, he will be a potent force. He's only 21. The men's 100 meter, Orlando Bennett, I believe, won that one. I think all three of the guys qualified. For the Mario Prince was second in, I think it was 13.114, I think it was. And Bennett, I think, was 13.12. And I think the third place person, Tyler Mason, was 13.22. And all three would have satisfied the qualification or the qualifying mark. The question though is, where we have an athlete, right, who was not able to take the final and who has applied for a medical exemption and who also ranks in the top 3 in the world, that third place for Tyler Mason is not automatic, it's not guaranteed. Top 2 guarantee in that particular situation, right? Let me say it again. In a scenario where an athlete who is ranked within the top 3 in the world, whether 1, 2, or 3, who was not able to take his place in the final, right? Who has long achieved the qualifying standard and who has applied for a medical exemption, then it would mean that Tyler Mason number 3 spot, even although he meet the qualifying standard, would not be automatic. Right? It would mean that Broadbell could get ahead of him, get in ahead of him. However, that presupposes that Broadbell would have to demonstrate that he's in competitive shape, meaning that if he was injured, he would have to show at some point before the cutoff point that he was able to still run fast and still meet the World Championship qualifying standard. Because if he is not able to do that, right, even although he's ranked number 3, if he is not in the competitive shape, I don't believe that he should go ahead of Mason. But if he's in competitive shape, right, and he's ranked in the top 3 in the world, then clearly it is going to pose a problem for Mason. Paula Marie Binns, thank you, my sister. You have always been a steady and constant support to my life. So that's that for the men's 110 meter hurdle. We have seen the changing of the guard actually, because incidentally there's no answer parchment. I think he was relegated to about 5th or 6th in that race. We have seen also the women's 400 meter hurdles, where Rochelle Clayton seemed to be getting back her swag, getting back her confidence, getting back her fitness level. The time was not all that impressive, but it was good enough for her to get the win. I think she would have actually achieved the qualifying mark already, and even at that point in the championship, the time would have allowed her to be a qualifier at the Tokyo World Championship, but she was able to get the better of Andrea Knight and Cheyenne Salmon. I think all three would be safe for the championship, but female 400 meter hurdle is at 11 now, with the likes of Femke Ball and of course the big woman Sydney McLaughlin left round that to get a medal there, even a bronze medal, it's going to be very difficult, you would have to be running maybe mid to low 52 to get a bronze medal. I'm going to be honest. Low 54 or 53 not going to win any bronze medal in Tokyo. You'd have to be running mid 52 to low 52 to get a bronze medal. That's how fast that race is going to be. Now our guys again, Roshan Clark is again the national champion. And then we see Asina Wilson and Malik James King, who is a shadow of himself. I think he got hurt at some point, so he has some weeks before the championship to get himself together. But again, the stratospheric height, the dizzy height where 400 meter hurdle is now at, with the likes of Rai Benjamin, Karsten Warholm, Alistair Dos Santos, Aberdeen, Abderman Samba, these guys. It's going to be hard for our guys to even make the final, let alone to even win a medal. But you have to run the races, eh? So we're hoping that over the next 3 weeks, over the next 4 weeks, our guys can use that time wisely to sharpen up, so that they can represent themselves well at the championship. So the long jump again, I mean, we are not so strong in the long jump right now. I mean, we are not, even the triple jump that Jordan Scott won, we are not that strong. I think it's 17.16. Keir McLeod would have won, Jordan Scott would have won in the triple jump. You have to be jumping 17.5, 17.6, 17.7 to even stand a chance. But what is encouraging is that Jordan Scott has been winning a couple diamond leagues with his triple jump. So who knows, anything is possible. He might be able to medal. Keir McLeod, I think, did 2 8-meter jumps, which I believe would have been better than anything that Wayne Pinnock would have done this year, in my opinion. I think he did an 8-0 something and an 8-1-6 jump, which means that if he can display or demonstrate consistency and jump over 8 meters, who knows, he probably might win a medal, a medal. But you'd have to be jumping 8.3, 8.4 to be in the conversation with respect to the gold medal. Anything under 8.4 medal, 8.3, 8.4 meters, I don't think you're going to be in the conversation for the gold medal, but you might be in the conversation for a bronze medal. Might, just might. It was good to see what's his name again? Our discus thrower there, Fortis. It was good to see him winning the discus championship again. Is a youth that throw, I believe, 69 something on the Diamond League circuit. Ralford Mulling, name just coming back. Ralford Mulling threw 69 point something on the Diamond League, and I think he threw 65 and some 64s at the championship, which means that he's in good nick. And in fact, I believe he could very well surprise us all and win the gold medal at the championship, even with the absence of Rajesh Stoner, who will be representing Turkey. Right? I think Ralford Mullins could very well be our savior, the replacement. And of course, Frederick Dakers was there as well. Frederick Dakers has won silver in the discus before. He is actually the national record holder in the discus, because the national record, in the discus, Jamaica's national record in the discus is a far distance than the Olympic record, that stoner throw, Because stoner throws 70 point, just about 70 meters last year Olympic. I believe that the national record is 70.7 something. So we have the talent pool here. We can reproduce the talent. So at this point we have to just wish our athletes well. At some low points also, because as I say, Tia Clayton, I don't know what can happen. I don't know how bad the injury is. I don't know if she can get effective rehab to get her ready in the quickest possible time to probably go on the Diamond League circuit and probably win the Diamond League 100 meter. It is not far-fetched that she probably could. Steve Savary, thanks for coming on the line. It's not impossible that she probably could and give Jamaica four spots in the 100 meter at the World Championship. But I don't know. That was kind of a dampener for me, if you want to call it. I really wanted to see Tia Clayton at her best, because I think if she was not injured, I think we would have seen some probably 10.77, 10.78 at our national trial, even in dead conditions. I think that would have been possible, So it was a great championship in my opinion, but that was a dampener for me. I really want Tia. I'm just so hurt about Tia. But what can I say of Christopher Taylor? 2.5 years out, not competing, but had the mental fortitude and the fixity of purpose and the determination and the discipline and the humility, as I've seen him express himself, to come back and to make the 200 meter top 3. And I have no doubt that he will achieve that 20.16 time. He's shaving time every time he runs. He's shaving time. He just needs more races. And I believe that between now and August, before the World Championship in September, I think we will see a much improved Christopher Taylor. Remember, this youngster, is a champion at all. We have seen the champion medal that he has displayed at boys champs, and I don't think anything has changed. He's rumbling with the big boys now, but I do believe that he has what it takes to lower his time, even to below 20.16, to become an automatic qualifier to the World Championship. So, that's and the starters were better this year. There's a few glitch, but the starters were better this year compared to last year, to be honest, and they're certainly better than what we experienced at champs. So kudos to the starters. I didn't like the Brianna Williams thing. I believe they could have given her a reprieve. I saw them did it on about 3 occasions the day before with athletes. They could have given Brianna Williams a reprieve, given the fact that the elder is a tad too long. That's my opinion. But I want to also make mention of the juniors in first and foremost. Daniel Clark of Kingston College, establishing a national junior record in the under 20 110 meter hurdles, 12.96, and that was just a phenomenal. That was a phenomenal run. That was the race I was expecting to see at boys champs. It probably would not have happened at champs given the the win factor, the negative win. But certainly, after running that 13.06 over by GC Foster, I think if conditions were okay and we never had these hiccups and disqualification the previous day that played on a lot of the athletes' mind, maybe who knows what would have happened, you know. But it was good to see him breaching the 13-second barrier. Young Peter, class 2, running 46.9 something, doing a PB, beautiful, you know. Watching Kyle Bodden also 10.42 personal best, you know. The Excelsiorians are having a field day with the sprinting though, where you look at Raquel Reed and Malik Nugent running really fast times, 10.27 in terms of Raquel Reed. Really fast times, you know. So those were some standout moments for me. Young Phillips, Amari Phillips of KC again. He won the under 18 long jump, as he did at Champs and as he did at the character games. So all in all, you know, it was a good championship. We now await what will happen at the World Championship in Tokyo if we can lift our game and to become competitive and to bring home some gold medals. Certainly to do much better than we did at the Paris Olympics, you know, and probably to improve on the count of the previous World Championship. I am hoping that Sharika Jackson in particular really rise to the occasion, because if she can replicate anything close to her best at the World Championship, then the gold medal in the 200 meter is assured. But we have to be cognizant of a Julian Alfred now, who is on the rise. Gabby Thomas, Melissa Jefferson, and all of those girls, they are running really fast time. So we're just hoping that, you know, we can put it together. I await the team selection, the final team selection. I think that will be done sometime later. I don't think it's something that's going to be done now, because there are a lot of things that will have to go into preparing that team. You know, we have to look also at the quota system to see, based on that, if we don't achieve certain time standard, you know, how we fit within the ranking and what the quota system will allow us, how much it will accommodate us, Jamaica that is. So, you know, this is my little 2-cent word for today. It was a beautiful championship. I enjoyed every moment of it. I have a lot of confidence in Kishane Thompson that is going to deliver massively this time round. You know, I think he's going to separate himself from athletes this time round. And you know, Kishane, as I say, is the 6th fastest athlete now, and I believe that before the season is out, I think he's going to remove Justin Gatlin in front of him, and could very well likely move Asafa Powell, you know, or also ahead of him, you know, very well move Asafa Powell. You know, I think Kishane probably is going to go 9-6 at the World Championship, which could also mean that he could probably in one fell swoop remove Tyson Gay, Ewan Blake, Asafa Powell and Justin Gatlin, 4 athletes, and could very well put himself up as the number 2 fastest man in history. I'm not sure that he's ready to challenge for the 9.58, but who knows, you know, but I'm not going to be that audacious as yet. I'll watch his progress, you know, as we move closer and closer to the Tokyo World Championship. Peace, blessings to you all. I am out. Devon Powell, blessings to you too.